And what's happening, folks? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. Hope everybody is good out there. Um, 420 News brought to you by Martin's World, and I'm your show host, Martin Condon. What's happening, guys? I see a couple of you out there already in the comments section. We got Irish Hemp Harvest. What's happening, on shore? We got Mark, Podge, John, and Wooly. What's happening, guys? Hope everybody's good. Welcome along to 420 News. It is Wednesday, guys. Hope everybody's good. Halfway there. It's almost Friday. Yay. And just a heads up, guys, on Friday there won't be any 420 News, as I'll be out splashing about in the inflatable water park place there in Ballyhass with the family. So apologies for that, guys. No 420 News on Friday. So hopefully you don't go into withdrawals without me. Just grinding up some bud here at the moment, and we'll blaze one up. Who else is out there? Skatanist is joining in as well, saying, whoa, the timing couldn't be better here. Hey y'all, hey Martin, hope you're having a blaze day. Of course. Had some decent pepper sauce a while ago with some steak and spuds, and I love me pepper sauce, like, be nice and peppery. Make it all at home myself with a bit of wine, with a bit of whiskey, and lots of black pepper and red and green peppers too. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So my belly is full now, guys. We'll fill up my bowl there now, and we'll get the show on the road. Excellent. We see Hebsy girl joining in there as well, and Rudy, Connor S. What's happening, guys? Run on. Divney, run on, what's happening? And weather's meant to be savage and dry. Yeah, it's supposed to be scorcher actually on Saturday. I don't know, is that a good or a bad thing? I suppose it can only be a good thing, but we were out there, was it last year, and man, it was a scorcher of a day, and all the back of my neck got bloody burnt out in the water. So I'll make sure to put on a little bit of sunscreen this time. I'd say I never put the stuff on either, like but yeah, we'll get a nice natural one. Mark, what's happening? So desperate. Boiled and drank me grinder. I hope you boiled it in some nice fat there now and not water, because those cannabinoids are not water soluble, Mark. So I hope you boiled it in a bit of milk or something like that and made yourself a little bit of bang. Serenable, what's happening? Any news on the Cork event? Yes, I certainly do. I'll pop it up on screen here now for you guys. Hopefully this fits. Boom, boom, give me a second. This is not a finished poster either, guys. There's a couple of drafts of this going around the place, but I just don't have the other drafts there at hand. So this is what I have at the moment for a poster. I will get an updated version there again very soon to you guys, but the 7th of August, 2 to 6 p.m. in the Big Green by the Mardyke Walk Skate Park. So just pop into Google Maps, Mardyke Walk Skate Park, and there's a big square green just out the front of that, and that's exactly where we'll be gathering on the 7th of August, guys. So this is just draft one of the poster before fucking all the guys over in Crown go crazy, like. So definitely make sure you have this in your planner anyway. And we've already confirmed the first bit of music for the day. We're going to have Rasputin Boots back down joining us as well. And we'll have a couple of more names there as well to add to the list, who will be there to keep you entertained for our picnic in the park. Yes, Cannabis Reform Ireland protest picnic in the park. So hope everybody's going to put this into the diaries and make sure to join us on the day, so we can stand up and call on the government to end our oppression. That's the word I was looking for. I'm on shore saying, any recommendations for cheap, close places to stay? Mrs. birthday on the 8th, so make a weekend of it. Well, it depends on how cheap you're looking to go, I'm on shore. You have Sheila's Hostel, which is a good spot there up on Wellington Road. So I'd imagine that's a nice way to bootstrap it down here, keep it cheap. But if you're coming down with the missus, then I would say maybe you want to spoil her a little bit, but depending on where your budget's at, get onto those Groupons and those different special offer apps. You might find a place down in Cork doing an offer on that. where you might get something for 50-60 quid there for the night, with maybe even a bit of a spa treatment thrown in or something like that. So do check out those things. Look out for a good offer around the place. I do think accommodation at the moment is probably a bit pricey because of the whole COVID situation, and a lot of people, staycationing. So accommodation prices are a bit funky at the moment. So do definitely check around those Groupons and other things. Maybe if somebody else is out there as well, get and if you know of any good offers going around Cork, get a message there to Monsieur over on Facebook and hook them up. So sorry, can't be any more help there, Monsieur. But again, if the hostel is something that you're up for, then fucking Sheila's Hostel is probably one of the better ones. And I'm pretty sure they have a sauna up there as well, if you're looking to do that kind of thing. I wish I could go up there and visit that sauna. So yeah, guys, 7th of August, 2 to 6 p.m. in the Big Green by Mardyke's Walk skate park for Cannabis Reform Ireland. And yeah, we're going to add a few more hashtags to that poster there as well. Bring Alicia home and talk to Vera. So and this is a bring your own weed event, guys, as well. So there'll be no sourcing there on the day. So make sure you're well sourced beforehand. Don't be coming down expecting to get hooked up on the day, because you might be rather disappointed. So make sure you come prepared. Bring your own weed, bring your own edibles, and whatever form of cannabis you consume, bring it along with you for our picnic in the park, where our community is going to gather in a action of civil disobedience. Yes. So yeah, we'll have more posters going out there as well soon. We might even run a competition around poster creation. So if somebody makes a really kick-ass poster out there, we might have an old prize there for them. So yeah, we drive on then with the news, guys, because the first bit of news I have for you today is that the Gardai are leading the way on the international cocaine smuggling gangs. So this is a headline that popped up there recently, where the Gardai made a massive discovery of a pile of coke that actually arrived into Rotterdam, but it was shipped back here to Ireland with the help of the Irish Navy. So quite an operation that goes on here. Why they needed to ship the drugs back to Ireland, for what reason, I don't understand, because that's probably not a cheap thing to be doing, to send a bloody Navy ship kitted out with a load of Navy officers to go over and act like fucking couriers effectively, like, because that's what our Navy were doing in this regard. They went over, they collected a package and they brought it to another place. Like well, what is this really good use of our taxpayers' money? But they go into this then, and they show how the cocaine was smuggled in. It was disguised as charcoal, as you can see here on the screen. Now, I've been watching Narcos there recently, interestingly enough. And I think it was in the first or second season, the boys were actually flashing lumps of charcoal that they were disguising as cocaine. So this isn't a new thing. This is well known. It's included in the fucking script for Narcos. Like, so this is something that the boys have probably been at for quite a bit of time. The cocaine that they seized here was there was 2,000 bags of charcoal. So the value of the cocaine has not been estimated yet, as I suppose it has to be broken down from the oh no, they actually have it down here. It's 35 million, up to half a ton of cocaine. And this cocaine is actually said to be undetectable by drug dogs also. So it's a way in which they've avoided detection. So how much cocaine has come to Ireland in this form in the past, really? So this is the first time that they got it, and you wonder how successful these criminals have been over the last couple of years getting the stuff into Ireland. That the cops, they portray this as a success in their operation, but do you know how long has this been going on, and how many other forms of how many other different kind of products is cocaine being disguised as? You know, you see it being soaked in fabrics, and then people take the fabrics and extract the cocaine from the fabrics afterwards. How are our boys going to keep up with this, in fairness? Like, you know, like the boys up in the north, up in Donegal, they don't even have a fucking undercover drug car. But meanwhile, our Gardai are out there on the international stage trying to take on these massive drug cartels who were importing billions of euros worth of drugs every year. We think our boys can outdo this, in fairness, like. Like when I think of our Gardai, that prank phone call. Did you ever hear that prank phone call with the two Garda stations? Oh, it is absolutely hilarious. Like prank call on Garda stations. This is the one. It's fucking hilarious. I'll just pop it up here for you.
Westport Garda Station? No, Castlebar Garda Station. No, you're on to Westport Garda Station. No, this is Castlebar here, Castlebar Garda Station. Alright. Yeah, who's this speaking? This is Michael Tracy in Westport. Oh, Mick, what are you ringing here for? This is Castlebar. We didn't ring you at all. Well, I didn't ring. I picked up the phone, it rang here. And I picked up the phone because it rang here. Jesus Christ. So what's happening? I don't know what's happening. There must be a meteorite hit the line. Something must have done it anyway. We're all right here. Are you all right there? That's too bad. None of us want each other, so. No, that's fine. Talk to me. All right, goodbye.
Sorry, like that's what I think of when I think of our Gardai. The two boys on the phone, like, you know, just scratching their head, like, you know, imagine the boys and they find the coke, and it's like, Christ, that's a lot of coke. Well, geez, we better seize it, shouldn't we? We better get on to the media and tell them that we done our job here today and that we're doing great work. That's Mikey Healy if he was a cop. But, you know, like, our cops on the internet, this is just a laughable kind of thing, is kind of what I'm getting at here. Our guards are a joke. Like, they do not deserve to be up there on the international stage tackling these gangs. The only way we're going to tackle these gangs is by regulating the feckin' drug that they're bringing to the streets of Ireland. Because our Gardai, the authorities out there, it's hopeless. They're hopeless of stopping this stuff reaching our streets. Look how fucking ingenuitive these organised crime gangs are in smuggling. As I said, this is going on for years. Like, how many deliveries of 2,000 bags of charcoal, like all cocaine, half a ton of it. How many of those deliveries actually arrived undetected? How many of the other, again, the different forms that they've been smuggling it in, whether it be soaked in fabrics, you know, stuffed up somebody's bum, and all the other different ways in which they do it. Like, you know, where there's the demand, there's going to be a supply. The only way we're going to tackle these international cocaine smuggling gangs is by regulating their trade and taking away their feckin' bread and butter, because that's exactly what that is here. This is these guys' bread and butter. If we legalise and regulate it, well, that's probably one of the best ways we can dismantle the organised crime gangs involved in this trade. Otherwise, you know what I mean? It's going to be the two boys and the phones. Like, you know what I mean? What hope do they have? Like, come on, lads. Stop it now. Like, our streets need to be cleaned up and these organised crime gangs need to be dismantled. The youth workers against Prohibition, they're onto a winner in this one. Decriminalise and regulate all drugs, not just cannabis, all of them, if you want to stop this kind of carry on going on. So we drive on from there then, guys, because the Gardai have seized €140,000 worth of cocaine in Cork, but not before having the guy crash into him. So this is a case in Glanmire, Cork again, where the Gardai, coming off of the M8, intercepted after intelligence-led operation. This is actually a part of Operation Tara as well. So there's some snitches out there snitching on the deliveries of drugs going on, but the boys knew what was going on here. They targeted the car, but your man tried to take off from him, and while he was taking off, he started chucking the coke out the window of the car, and he crashed into the cops then as well during the chase. And it wasn't until he crashed into him that they catch him. Very lucky here that the cops escaped uninjured. Nobody was injured in the crash, but very lucky escape for them. Again, we could be reporting on loss of life here, whether it be from the cops or whether it be from the man in his 30s trying to flee him. But look, luckily enough, they did get out of this unscathed. What a waste of fucking time. Like, you know, imagine if you were down there on the lower road now, you know, down on the Glanmire road, and you were coming the opposite way to this car, and this fool who crashed into the car, guards actually crashed into you. For what, 140 grand worth of coke? Hang on a second, go back there a second ago. Look at this. Like, the cops think that they're doing good by targeting 140 grand's worth of coke, but like, there's millions upon millions coming in, like. And imagine if an innocent person and another bystander using the road lost their life as a result of this needless chase on this failed war in drugs that we wage in the streets of Ireland. That's just one life too many, should it ever have happened. There's many ways in which we could be preventing deaths here, reducing the risks to our society, rather than having our cops go out there, the boys, thinking that they're great, going out with their guns and their armour and all of this stuff. What are we doing? The only way we're going to change is decriminalisation, regulation and education. The only approach our government needs towards drugs. This prohibition of drugs, it's not working at all. So again, €140,000 worth of coke seized as part of the Operation Tara. This was at 11:25 on Monday night down in Glanmire in Cork City. And it was just after the Gardai intercepted a vehicle coming off of the M8, and a pursuit took place then afterwards. And after the car crashed, then the man in his 30s was arrested, detained under Section 2 of the Criminal Justice Trafficking Act, and the discarded plastic bag, which was retrieved afterwards, and we've an old picture of it there. So this was the bag that was chucked out the window, and or these were the bags actually that were chucked out the window. So a couple of different wraps there, but €140,000 worth of cocaine in total. The fact that you can fit all of that cocaine into one bag and it's worth €140,000, that tells you how much of a failure Prohibition is, because that's a lot of money to be made off of a small volume of product. So again, why wouldn't you be foolish enough to think that you get away with selling it and hiding it, and because these guys probably were for ages. Maybe this individual just pissed off somebody higher up than them, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to throw you to the sharks today. There's a cop down there and he's going to let me get this shipment pass, and I need to throw him a sacrificial lamb. So that he sacrifices 140,000 worth of coke. But meanwhile, the car coming behind that had fucking 14 million worth of cocaine in it, Small price to pay for the business that it is drug dealing, Think about it. Again, I've been watching Narcos. You see how these guys operate, bribing people. And again, these kind of things, you could put that in the same thing as a bribe. Well, you have to pay off the cops, but you also have to throw them a few bones every now and again, such as, the old sacrificial lamb. So again, just throwing it out there, hypothetically, this could be a situation where dirty cops are working with these organised crime gangs, and this dude was a sacrificial lamb, just being thrown there so that the cops can have their day in front of the cameras, to say, hey, look at us, we're doing something, the Operation Tara, it's a success, And yeah, it does look tiny in fairness. But again, decriminalisation, regulations, the only way we're going to stop this sort of carry on. And we go on up to Bray then. So above in Bray, the Gardai caught another individual with 2 kilos of cannabis pictured here. So this was again as part of Operation Tara, where a man was arrested after the Gardai discovered the €40,000 worth of suspected cannabis herb in County Wicklow. He was arrested following a search by the Gardai from the Divisional Drugs Unit at Bray Garda Station at around 3:20 on Tuesday. So the officers found cannabis as well as other drugs paraphernalia, and the drugs seized will be sent for further analysis. So again, another cost to the taxpayer here. Jeez man, we're paying through the nose for this. And meanwhile, it was only, I seen it up in Twitter there earlier. Was that the Cork Life Centre, it's going underfunded, and there's a risk there now that the Cork Life Centre might close its doors. But meanwhile, we just launched Operation Tara. How much is that costing us? All of these guards out there working full-time tackling this. And if you don't know what the Life Centre is, it's a kind of a voluntary service here in Cork. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a place where kids who can't fit into conventional education, they go there and they receive an education, secondary education. I'll pop it up on screen there, their Twitter page. Get over and give them a follow, the Cork Life Centre. I know the guys over in the Two Norries talk about it a lot, because I think James done a bit of work down here as well, James Leonard of the Two Norries. But it's just crazy that these services are going underfunded here in Ireland today while we launch these stupid bloody operations. So up on screen there is the Cork Life Centre, and it says here the Life Centre is a voluntary organisation offering an alternative learning environment for young people who find themselves outside the mainstream system. So again, an incredibly vital source that's going underfunded in our community. and we're at risk now of it being lost. They gave an interview on the opinion line there the other morning. It's up there at the moment on their page. Look, I'm actually going to give it a retweet there now as well, so that you can find that up on my own page over on Twitter. But again, like these are the kind of services that we should be funding. This is how we're going to reduce harms to young people from the risks there of organised crimes. You know, outside of decriminalisation and regulation, like, you know, these services are vital in diverting young people away from the organised crime gangs, but more importantly, to steer them towards a successful path in life. Do you know what? They equip them with skills, with education, with experience. And it's going underfunded, but meanwhile, sure, there's no shortage of money there for the boys to do their fucking undercover sting operations, to get countless hours of overtime fighting their fruitless, failed war on drugs that only victimises the most vulnerable in our communities even further. You know, why aren't we putting out this kind of fucking all of the funds that we're affording to this war on drugs to services such as these, the services such as Try, which is another organisation above in Dublin. You know, there's many youth services out there going underfunded today in Ireland, but sure, Operation Terra, like, lads, let's belt on ahead with that. Like, great use of taxpayers' money, in fairness, like, a waste of time. Like, you look at this 40 grand, let's say, here on the table, you put a 23% tax in that there, like, and you're talking about, like, what's that, like, nearly, is it almost 10 grand or something like that, is it? Imagine what you could do with 10 grand in the Cork Life Centre. Imagine how many people they would be able to bring in, and all of the really cool trips and expeditions they do with the young people to keep them engaged. But because again, like myself, I was able to go to school, I was able to sit down in a classroom and listen to the teacher, and I was able to learn in that way. But there's some people that's not really for them, you know. They need to learn in different ways. They might be much more hands-on in their learning, and again, the mainstream system doesn't cater for that. I know with the Life Centre, they bring them to do really cool things. They really help these people, these young people, find their place in community, which is an incredibly important thing to do for young people who find themselves on the fringe, on the outskirts, because already, you know, this is a service for the young people who find themselves outside of the mainstream system. So again, I thought it's just important to highlight that, you know, these services going underfunded while our government, our ministers in charge see it a good use of our taxpayers' money to fund this war on drugs rather than to fund these services. Because we look across to America, where in America there's a bill now after being launched, I believe it was just earlier today, by Chuck Schumer, and it'll seek to end the cannabis prohibition on a federal level, and it will regulate cannabis like tobacco. And this is expected actually to generate a $100 billion industry by 2030 if it's successful in its mission. That's an incredible industry, and that's an incredible amount of money that we could have generated, that we could be generating from cannabis. You have to think about it over the last 30 years since 1990, how much money has been lost that we could have been generating from the illegal sale of cannabis in our society. Because back in 1990 it was wanted, like, people were smoking soap bar hash, doing untold damage to themselves from the dodgy crap that was going around. We could have been protecting people all those years ago. Imagine where we would be today 30 years later, had we legalized and regulated cannabis back then. Well, look, the best time to plant an apple tree if you want apples was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant an apple tree if you want apples is today, because that's, you know, that's the best you can do, really. So for us, just think about what we've missed out on and what we can achieve. Because America, if they're successful in achieving this, then this is going to send reverberations around the world. So fingers crossed there in America that this will get across the line. I'll keep following this there, and I'll update you as the updates become available. And also, I just want to give a shout out there to Ferg. Ferg says, "Get up, stand up, everybody." Nice one there, Ferg, for your support of the show. Much appreciated. So get up, stand up, guys. 7th of August, picnic in the park. You're there to come out and stand up for your rights and to call for an ending of the oppression that we've faced as cannabis consumers in today's society. And guys, I suppose really with this, we've to look out not just for the money aspect of what we lost out, but think of all the lives lost needlessly because of this war on drugs. One life in particular, a news story that's come back up in the media, was the story of Cameron Blair. This is because one of the people involved in this crime was up in court recently, so this kind of popped up into my radar again recently. And I just thought it's very well worthwhile bringing back up and to ask this question is, would Cameron Blair be alive today if cannabis was legal and regulated and they never had to ask a scumbag with a knife to source it for them? And this is the old photo there of Cameron Blair, a CIT student in his second year of college studying chemical engineering. And he lost his life after being stabbed in the neck at a house party. Was it about just over 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago? Horrible situation to unfold, but in the court case anyway, it was said that the incident unfolded in the evening after an older drunk man was trying to get into the house, and he was pushed back out of the house by a person named. This person named was renting a room in the student accommodation with Cameron. The three youths who were not invited to the party were standing outside and they noticed the incident, and one of them was the accused. Cameron then prevailed on the person named to invite the men into the house, and they went inside. So the young fellas were invited inside. The guy who stabbed Cameron in the neck was actually invited inside into the party. And while they were inside at the party, then as things kind of unfolded, the lads inside in the house had asked these three young fellas, "Look, lads, can you get us some cannabis?" So the young fellas fecked off out of the gaff. They went away, they got a bit of cannabis, and they came back to the house with the cannabis. And then there was a bit of an argument ensued afterwards because of the money or the weight of the cannabis. I'm not too sure what exactly caused the argument, but there was an argument ensued when the guys came back because of either the money or the weight of the involved in the transaction. So again, this kind of this caused the atmosphere of the party to just degrade to the point of where the people who owned the house, who were living there, called an end to the night, and they wanted the young fellas to leave. And the young fellas didn't really want to leave, and there was kind of altercations breaking out and stuff like that. And they got the guys outside, and just out of nowhere then, there was a knife quickly pulled out, and Cameron Blair got stabbed in the neck. That's a horrible thing to happen, and I have to wonder, if okay, look, there could have been an argument breakout over something else, but this was over cannabis, and it was over a transaction that happened. What happened? Like, did the boys chip in 100 quid going down, look, we'll get you 7 grams. They came back and there was only 5 grams there. There was an argument, you must have robbed 2 grams on us or something. You just don't know what happened there. There was something happened. That's my suspicion anyways. The boys were coming back. They were probably after pocketing a gram or 2 out of the bag. And the students in the house, they were just like having none of it. And then the argument afterwards. So again, I ask, if cannabis was legal and the guys never had to actually deal with these scumbags with knives, would Cameron Blair be alive today? And I would think he would be. That's my suspicion, is that they would not have had to go get cannabis from these guys. So therefore, there would have been no argument ensued, and therefore afterwards. And Cameron then would be alive today. He would be going into his 4th year of college this year. So rest in peace, Cameron Blair. I just think this is another sad, preventable loss of life because of this prohibition that exists around drugs. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to ask. And I would imagine a lot of people out there would agree that Cameron would be alive today had cannabis been illegal and they were able to just get it in a shop in the city like they did with their bloody booze, because they weren't asking these young fellas, "Look, lads, can you get down and get us a naggin of vodka there or something?" Why? Because they could do it themselves. But the young fellas, Cameron Blair, a student in the cities, he's not a person from the city. He was from West Cork, I believe. Cameron Blair was actually from, I think he was from Bandon or something like that. But maybe he didn't know somebody up in the city. And the young fellas at the party, sure, the lads must know somebody if they're from around here, like. It's unfortunate, like, preventable loss of life here. The war on drugs. Frank Fian, are you happy, bud? This is all preventable. Stephen Donnelly, are you happy, bud? in cannabis, like that would not result in the loss of life, no matter how much this young person would have consumed of it, has lost his life now because of the way in which our government force us to get it. And again, you know, you look at decriminalisation. If decriminalisation was to happen here in Ireland without regulation, you would still have this problem. This is why you need both decrim and regulation. But I'm sure most of you already know this out there already. So yeah, rest in peace, Cameron Blair. And we drive on from that story, guys, and we go back to America, where in America, well, not really America, I suppose, Apple in general, just the first cannabis delivery app lands on the App Store following policy changes. So I'd imagine this is probably America and Canada also, because two of those places have states where cannabis is legal for sale and supply to adults and to patients alike. So this is a great achievement there. You know, this is something that's long coming, I suppose, really, where the app stores were not allowing apps that had anything to do with cannabis stores or cannabis delivery to be featured on the Apple App Store. The ban still stands on Google's App Store, so the Google Play Store. They still don't allow any cannabis delivery apps to be featured on their stores. But this is a great step forward anyway, and it follows on from the recent announcements there as well, with support from Amazon that they won't be testing their employees anymore. I believe Apple might be also have the same policy in place where they're not testing their employees for cannabis also. So great day for the cannabis community, has to be said. But the first app to offer cannabis delivery is launched on the App Store a month after Apple changed the App Store policies, allowing apps to handle sales via legal dispensaries. Apple made a change to the App Store policies on June 7th, introducing many changes to rules about what apps offered for download can do. Among the changes was loosening of restrictions on in-app sales from licensed and legal pharmacies and cannabis dispensaries in areas where they are allowed, and it has taken just over a month for the first app to arrive that takes advantage of this alteration. And that app is called Eaze, Eaze. If you want to check it out. I don't know if it's available on the European App Store. I'd imagine it's probably region specific, but check it out anyway if it's up there. I don't mess with Apple myself, so I don't have access to the Apple App Store. So Eaze is the first app up there, and the app includes registration, ID verification, handles payments and receipts for orders, as well as on-demand delivery and order tracking. The sales are limited to those aged 21 and over, and with multiple verifications of customers' ID throughout the purchase and delivery process. To keep the service legal, the app geo-fences purchases to jurisdictions where cannabis is legal. Currently, the service delivers across California and will start delivery in Michigan later in July. Eaze has always been about using the latest developments in technology to make shopping for legal cannabis more accessible, says their CEO, Rogelio Choi. It's hard to overstate how important this is to our company and the industry. So happy days there, and it says here that while the Apple has been progressive in allowing cannabis sales, apps in the App Store, Google's Play Store policy outright bans apps that allow the sale of cannabis or related products regardless of the legality. So boo to the Google Play Store. Come on, guys, get the finger out. Get in. It's the 21st century. Come on, like, modernize yourself. Stop this fucking prohibition. It's legal. Like, come on, there's money to be made in this. Like, let these apps be featured on your store. Why carry this out any longer? Amazon is on board. Like, Google is on board. Get on board. Or, sorry, Apple is on board. Hey, get on board, Google. Like, come on, like, get with the times, lads. I would strongly consider switching to Apple if cannabis was to be legal here in Ireland, and Apple and my phone didn't allow me to fucking get the latest app that allowed me to get delivery of cannabis in my area, of course I would switch my phone provider then at that point. Like, I hate Apple pretty much. I don't like them, but if that was the case, if I could only get the app for the delivery of my cannabis on the Apple phone, I guarantee I would be switching straight away. So there's a word of warning for you, Google. Get with the times, lads. Come on, like, It's not as if you're facilitating the illegal sale of cannabis. This is illegal and above board. Like, stop, lads. Ah. Right, we go on to the next headline. Sorry, I was just browsing through your comments. Hebsy Girl saying, DB, your art is awesome. And it certainly is. I'll second that as well. If I can give credit where credit's due, a talented man, with your wood sculpting. Even the stuff you put up there from the music festivals, incredible stuff. Fair play, DB. Well done. So we drive on from there, guys. In the next headline, Sacha Baron Cohen is making the 420 news today, and he's making the news today because he's suing a cannabis company by the name of Solar for their illegal use of his character Borat's image. So they've used the image of Borat with his thumbs up, as you can see here on the screen, saying it's nice. And they were wishing their customers a happy 420. But unfortunately, now for them, Sacha Baron Cohen is after suing him. The advertisement has since been taken down, but he's insisting that they pay him now €9 million for the illegal use of his, or $9 million for the illegal use of his character's image on the billboard that you see here. So this was featured in Michigan, I believe, or Massachusetts actually, where this billboard was featured. And Sacha Baron Cohen has said that this is in conflict with his image, as he would not be seen to be advertising cannabis, as he's a particular type of Jew, where the use of cannabis is kind of still very much taboo, whether it's in line with the traditions and values of the kind of I don't know, is it the Orthodox Jew? Yeah, the Orthodox Jew. So again, boot to Sacha Baron Cohen. Come on, man. Fair enough. Like, obviously, whatever about people using your image and advertising it and stuff, but come on, like, I thought you would be able to be kind of see out through this, like, but obviously, his values of his Jewish faith are very close to him. So look, they each their own. But it'd be, I wonder. I'm very surprised to actually learn that he doesn't smoke. To be honest, like, you'd assume that all these funny people smoke, like, but yeah. You make assumptions, and sure, they might make an ass of you, so that's what they say, isn't it? Don't be careful of your assumptions you make. So yeah, quite a bit of money there on the table if he's to be successful in his court case, but not as much money that is on the table in the next headline fee, which is, and I don't have it ready. Boo to you, Martin. Come on, you sausage. But it is New Mexico is proposing the doubling of their cannabis plants for cultivators. So cannabis has been illegal now in New Mexico for, I believe, a couple of months now. But they're still trying to put in place the policies for the regulation of it. So there's been chopping and changing. But the previous number that the cultivators were allowed would have seen them be allowed to produce up to 4,500 plants at one time. But now the regulators are actually saying, that's not actually going to be enough for the producers to meet the demand that's there. So the New Mexican policy makers are saying that the demand for cannabis is going to be very, very high. Pun intended there, guys. But yeah, they're increasing it from 4,500 up to almost 10,000 plants. That's a massive increase in number of plants, and a tremendous amount of money there as well for the state to be generating, because in the plants or in the facilities that have up to 10,000 plants, the producers have to pay $10 per plant. So, and on top of the $2,500 operational fee, that's an annual payment. So these facilities could be producing 10,000 plants at any one time. So let's say that they are producing 10,000 plants every 3 months. Let's say that's their cycle. That's 40,000 plants every year. at $10 a plant. That's $400,000 coming from each of these individual producers that are producing up to 10,000 plants. That's not including the money that's going to be made on the sale of it then once it goes out to the market. It's the newly released 2021 Cannabis Business Fact Book. It projects that a recreational cannabis market in New Mexico will generate 150 million in sales in the first full year and 425 million in sales annually by the fourth year. So they're serious projections to be made, and we've to really look at what we're doing here in Ireland in comparison to that. So apologies for not having that headline ready there for you, but that is that the New Mexican policymakers are more than doubling the amount of cannabis plants that producers are allowed to produce at any one time, because the demand they predict is going to be so high that 4,500 plants per producer is not going to be enough. So there you go, like, this is the kind of policy making that I like to see, you know. I don't see why they should be restricting producers. Like, I don't hear of any restrictions on the boys down in the Heineken brewery here in Cork City, you know, in terms of the amount of pints. Like, imagine our government came out and said that, like, you know, to the Guinness old warehouse above there in Dublin, even though most of it's actually produced in South Africa now, or South America. Yeah, South Africa, I think they do a lot of production in now. But imagine if they said, come here lads, look, you're only allowed 10,000 pints every month or something like that. Like, you know, the boys would be up in arms. There'd be fucking war, do you know? But still, for us as the cannabis community, we're delighted with this. Like, 10,000 plants, yes. That's happy fucking days, like, so bring it on. So we drive on from there, guys. So we go from New Mexico, where they have increased the amount of plants that producers can grow, where we jump back to UK, where Prohibition is in full effect over in the UK, where a huge cannabis factory, huge, 500 plants, 10,000 plants, lads, come on, huge, 500, 10,000, the one over there is 20 times bigger, so that's not huge. But anyway, that's the headline. Huge cannabis factory with more than 500 plants found hidden inside a disused shoe shop. In fact, actually, this would be one of the smaller of the cultivators in New Mexico. New Mexico have tiers, so there's different licenses. So if you want to apply to grow up to, I think it's like 500 plants. Yes, 500 plants. That's the first tier. That's the entry level for the producer in New Mexico. The next one is like 2,500, then the next is like 5,000, and then the biggest is 10,000. So the boys with their huge cannabis, that's Prohibition, that's propaganda. That's the boys trying to sell newspapers and headlines, like, you know, trying to create fucking stir, like, you know. That's all it is, like. It's not huge at all. Again, if anything, it's a huge huge missing out from the government, in that, like, there was 500 plants being produced here, with the potential of producing, let's say, like, if each of the plants had an ability to produce 5 or 100 grams, let's just say 100 grams per plant, and that's, you know, being conservative, I would imagine, you're talking about 50 kilos there. So this place had an ability to produce 50 kilos. Now, that's small as well, but 50 kilos of cannabis is a nice amount of cannabis to be selling. You put a tax on that there, guys. You talk about the jobs there, like, it's a huge missing out. That's the only thing huge in this. It's a huge failure by the policymakers. That's the only thing huge here about this raid over in the UK, inside in a disused shoe shop. That's another failure of it as well, being highlighted in the headline, a disused shoe shop. So in other words, a business that's no longer in existence, it's gone out of business. So there was jobs lost in a community that have not been replaced since this place is shut down. Well, in comes the organised crime gangs, and now they're making money out of it, like, and where we could have been as a legal industry making the same money and employing people. So again, Prohibition is a failure. That's the only thing here. There's a huge failure by policymakers, that they're after missing out on an opportunity to generate tax, to generate jobs, and to protect consumers. That's the only thing huge here about this. Like, drive on with your fucking propaganda. So that was in the UK, in Waterfoot near Bray. So I'm not too sure where exactly that is in the UK. I barely know most of the geography of Ireland, like, so someplace over in the UK anyway. What a waste of time. Like, again, imagine if the cops kicked in the door here and there was some fucking crazy lunatic after doing a couple of lines of coke and he's after being up all night and he's wired to the moon and he has a gun and bam 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 shoot out with the cops. Like, do you know, you have to wonder, like, where is this all going to end? You know, the case here in Cork where your man's throwing his coke out of the car window. Like, imagine if this situation was different, like, and this dude was driving up to the checkpoint and, you know, he panicked, like, he threw the stuff out of the window. Imagine he had a gun and he panicked at the checkpoint and he shot and killed the guards at the checkpoint and drove on from it, like, and we've a manhunt now because of a murder. This is what's going to happen in Ireland. Things are going to escalate if the longer stuff goes on. There's always escalations. We've seen it, like, here in Ireland over the last 30, 40 years. Things have only escalated. It's only getting worse and worse under the model of prohibition. Until we change it, we're only going to see things get worse. Do you know, imagine this young fella, well, this man in his 30s, like, and he could have shot cops, you know. Very likely could happen. And we go on then because cannabis prohibition in the UK, again, while they're missing out on generating taxes, it's also causing much hardship for patients who have to hand out piles of money every month for extortionate prescriptions for cannabis medicines. And this is an epileptic girl in the UK by the name of Clover. And Clover's pictured here with her parents. And Clover's a very young child and she suffers with seizures. Clover suffers with seizures from up to 80 seizures a week. It says here that Emily Howes and Spencer Carrott, her parents pictured here with her, have said that the treatment they're receiving, that they're currently paying £1,000 a month for, has helped reduce their daughter's seizures from 80 seizures a week to just 1 seizure a week. That's an incredible amount, an 80 times reduction in the amount of seizures. Like, that's incredible, like almost 100-time reduction. You know, you could round it up there to the closest 100 and say they've reduced the number of seizures by 100 times. That's a tremendous achievement for any medicine to be able to do for a patient. You know, and such a young one too, such a vulnerable patient, because any one of these seizures have a potential to snuff out this young girl's life. And it's very welcome news to hear that cannabis is providing tremendous benefit for to this family. But unfortunately, the family from Trowbridge in Wiltshire are importing the cannabis oil from Netherlands, much like the families here in Ireland, the Toomey family out in Ahabulik, Vera Toomey and her daughter Eva, they have to also import it from the Netherlands. Up until recently they had to travel there to get it, but because of COVID they're receiving it delivered to their door now, but they were able to get it delivered to the door for a long time in the UK. And the government said that the cannabis-based medicine use was being limited due to the ongoing concerns for safety. Come on, like, safety. What's safe about a girl suffering up to 80 seizures a month without this medicine? A week, without this medicine. Like, where's the safety in that? Like, where's your concerns there that if the parents aren't able to continue to afford this medication, which they're finding much difficulty in doing so. Do you know, again, much like many of the other patients that I've raised their stories here on the 420 News in the past, these families are fundraising. Like, they don't have £1,000 a month just sitting around that they're able to throw out at this medicine, you know. They have to fundraise. They're out there in the communities doing different things. One man, a friend of the family, is actually running a 100,000 kilometer sponsored run. A man by the name of Lee Evans. He's going to run 62,000 miles in order to raise funds to help to pay for the treatment here for Clover. You know, people are really willing to fucking move mountains for the patients here. But the government won't even budge, and they won't even move a pen. That's all they're asked to do here, is literally put fucking ink to paper and end this prohibition. Untie the hands of the medical professionals out there who want to work with this, who want to work with the patients, who want to give them safe and legal access to it. pen to paper. That's all you're being asked to do. And you can't do it. You talk about concerns for safety. When this girl, if she did not have this cannabis medicine, she would suffer up to 80 seizures a week without it. Do you know, she's now suffering 1 seizure a week with the medicine. That's a tremendous turnaround. Do you know, some of the other medicines that they're providing to this child are actually, do you know, they're ineffective. They're not as effective as cannabis has been proven to be for this to this patient. Again, anecdotal evidence here. But I guarantee you, if this was your child, and if your child was gone from 80 seizures a week to 1, do you know, if you've gone from watching your child having 80 seizures, imagine having to sit through that, sit there, watch your child, powerless as a parent to stop it, and all of a sudden, along comes this oil. I'm telling you, I would do time if it was my child, I'd tell you that much now. So yeah, this is Prohibition. This is why, guys, we all need to get out on the 7th of August here in Ireland, because, you know, while we're fighting for the legalisation of cannabis for adults alike, but this is where the greatest win is going to be won if we end this prohibition. It's the patients, it's the professionals, the access they'll get. So again, sorry for getting emotional on this one. I hate reporting on those stories with the kids, but we'll throw up the image of the banner there and we'll see if we can ground myself again. When I think about it though, like, fucking untold suffering that's going on for years. How many kids have been lost because of this stupid fucking restriction around the research of cannabis because of the prohibition? Do you know? Meanwhile, like, you know, we have young fellas getting their hands on edibles and getting, you know, getting into trouble with organised crime gangs, getting into the height of death because of the same prohibition, you know? It's supposed to stop access. It's failed in that. It's time we do a different change, like, you know? Seriously. Right, calm down. We'll get a ball into me and we'll engage with yourselves out there, guys, in the audience. Civil disobedience, guys. End the suffering of the patients. End this fucking oppression of and the discrimination that's going on because of the stupid war on drugs. You can't wage a war without having innocent victims. And, like, you know, for fair, I want to get emotional again, but, like, these are your victims. These are the people who were suffering because of it, you know? End it. Stop it. How could it, like, Stephen Donnelly, man, how, if you were in a room with this child right now and, you know, and these parents were in front of you, how can you deal with this, like, how do you sleep at night, man? How do any of these people in charge who are keeping the barrier in place sleep at night? I just don't understand it. You shouldn't, like. I do you know what I mean? I can barely sleep at night myself, like, thinking about this going on out there. And I'm not even in control of it. Like, I feel like I have to do something about this. Like, and I get restless about it. Like, I get up first thing in the morning and I'm thinking about, like, you know, what can I do today to help to end this prohibition? Like, you know, what is Martin going to do today to raise awareness of the suffering caused by prohibition? That's my life, like, pretty much. Because I suffered at the hands of prohibition, and then it just got me focused on it, and then you're just like, fucking hell, it's the amount of people affected, victimized by this prohibition. It's so vast and it's diverse, the reasons of the victimization. It's a young fella getting caught with his own personal amount of cannabis. It's a young fella getting caught for storing cannabis for organised crime gangs. You know, you've that side of it. But then you have the professionals who are restricted in the research, you know, the funding that's not there for the research because of the prohibition. And then you have the prevention of access there then as well of it afterwards, you know. The suffering, it's fucking, it's tremendous, like, it's crazy. So get out there, 7th of August, guys, down in Cork City, Mardyke Walk, skate park, big green down by it. Literally put it into Google. We'll have some more specific locations. We'll throw an event page up on Facebook and stuff like that as well. But yeah, get down there, guys. We'll have more of this. Civil disobedience. Yeah, I see some comments out there as well. Amy Cody saying that I feel how passionate you are about this. Sending in some love hearts and then legalize 100%. Yeah, definitely. Passion, like Jesus, oozing. It's pouring out my eyes. The passion. It's hard to control at times, honestly. Adam O'Brien, what's happening, Adam? Where cannabis is concerned, government are utterly incompetent and downright dangerous. Man, yeah, hit the nail in the head there, man. Utterly incompetent, and they are incredibly dangerous as well. Skitana saying clipping this, and Russell Banta saying preach. Nice one, guys. DB Woodcraft says, could we just bypass the government and get Michael D to sign a legalization bill? Sort this shit out once and for all for everyone's benefit. And no, in capital letters. Yeah, exactly. It would be great if he would. Like, you know, he's literally just a fucking statue of an ornament that's just brought around, paraded around from place to place. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, he has to sign things afterwards, like, but has he ever not signed things? Like, have we actually had a president not sign something in the past? I don't know. I don't think they have any real fucking power as such, like, but certainly he could, like, he could try to do something, but would he? I don't think so. I would love to if he would. Like, if people want to try, by all means do. Get on to Miguel D and see if he wants to come out and support. Tell him come on down here to the picnic in the park. Tell him he could be our guest of honour, actually. You heard it here now, Miguel D, if you're out there. Michael D. Higgins, we'll say your name right. So Michael D. Higgins, I'm Martin Condon, and cordially inviting you to the picnic in the park for Cannabis Reform Ireland. Come on down and support our protest if you support the ending of this oppression, if you support the right for patients to have access to cannabis. Come on down here and support our protest. So yeah, and that goes for any other politicians out there too. Any other politicians, if you want to come down there and support it, by all means do. But leave your parties behind you. Come down here and represent yourself in the day and express your own views and opinions. Cheers for the work, Martin, coming in from Temple Grower. Nice one, not a bother at all, TG. Hope you're good out there. And great stuff yourself, guys. Everybody's doing their part. Serenable, saying very true, Martin. Nice one for that, Serenable. Dale Guinness-Anam Dunn saying, I respect you, man. You're pure and honest. I wish we could say the same for our politicians, you know. I really wish that they had the same passion and commitment inside them for the issues that they deal with. A lot of them, sadly, you know, you just don't see it. You know, I'm probably too passionate in that sense. Like, they try to relate with some of them, but I don't know, man. I just find it hard to relate with some of them. Irish Empire was saying that these are the people suffering due to the war and drugs. Innocent children. It's disgraceful. It is. It's just 100% disgraceful. And I'm just going to do my part, and each and every one of you too, guys, to continue the story afterwards, you know, is to have these conversations afterwards. This war on drugs, it's another shambles, it's a failure. You look at the prohibition of cannabis and what it's doing and the victims that are out there. Talk about it with your friends, and I know many of you do. I heard that the recent actions of my own that were featured in RTE got conversations going within communities where this conversation rarely happened before. You know, within workplaces, there was people in work talking about the action and talking about the message that was carried with the action, because I thought they got it well across well in the different media pieces that covered it. So again, guys, you know, the civil disobedience, it did its job. It brought attention to the issue. It got people talking. And 7th of August, get out. And this is just a way in which you can do it. Engage in civil disobedience on a large scale. You know, take safety in numbers. And again, incredibly important, if you do attend, guys, hold your ground if the Gardai show up and if they start intimidating anybody. All for one and one for all. We'll all unite, and there'll be power in numbers there on the day. I'm now liaising with the Gardai so that the Gardai are informed of this event. They know it's a protest. They will not be coming down in the way in which they did the last time and bust it, you know, under the COVID guidelines and all of that stuff. We're going to adhere to the guidelines that are in place, but again, this is a protest. There's plenty of space down there for people to gather, to space out. It's a large green area, so I don't see this getting out of hand at all. again, if this green area was to fill up, there's another green area right next to it. Like there's no shortage of space down there for people to gather on the day and to social distance and all of that stuff. So again, get out there, join us. It's your opportunity to do it. I'll be engaging in some more civil disobedience again myself very soon here in Cork. So keep an eye out for that one. Again, as I said at the start of the show, guys, just in case some of you didn't know, I won't be here on Friday for 420 news, but I will be making her up in my own ways. So guys, just throw it up on the screen there. If anybody wants to give a call, we'll hook it up there to the sorry there, just got a lot of messages popping through there. But we're hooked up there now, I think, to the Bluetooth. Boom. Yes, we are. So if anybody wants to give a call in, if anybody wants to say hello, belt away, guys. We're just after going over the 1 hour mark there, so we'll stick around there for maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. Actually, if you bear with me for 1 second, I'm going to quickly grab a sup of water. Oh, wait. I actually thought I would have forgotten it downstairs, but it was here beside me. Lovely. So yeah, guys, the hotline is open. I see some comments out there. We have a JD saying half a gram costs €30. What the hell, man? Russell Banta, Yoskit Hannist, I'm late. I want that article for my own research. Got a link. So I'll hook him up. Don't mention that man's name. Doesn't deserve it. No, it's not worthy. Which man was that actually? Who was I talking about there? Isn't that worth repeating? Yeah, Hebsy girl there saying it as well. You really would do anything, and she puts in capital letters there, anything, for your little one. To watch them suffer is heartbreaking. Yeah, you know, and as I say, to go from 80 seizures a week to one, I'd imagine if the parents were asked to cut off their arms and legs and hand them over, they would do that. Not a bother at all. They lay down their lives for their kids. And as a parent myself, I could definitely say that that's where I would be at for my kids anyway. Not a bother at all. We wouldn't second guess it, like, you know. Their lives is way more important than mine. And yeah, you won't never want to see them suffer. Pods 4420. Next time we're in Phoenix Park, we'll try that. What's that for pods? Get Michael D out, is it? Well, it was in his garden. Like, if there was ever a time for Michael D to come join a cannabis protest, it would have been at the Phoenix Park. So maybe if the guys at the Major Smoke Up are planning, or the Major Protest crew are planning, is it the Major Protest group actually? Yeah, maybe if they're planning something for Phoenix Park again, that they might send a letter to him, like, you know. Also, I just want to say a nice one there as well to Hype out in the audience. Hype supported the show there earlier on, sending in an old donation. Nice one there for that, Hype. No message attached, but I can feel the love from it. Look, I wonder, is this actually supposed to be on the call? Hello, you're on Martin's World, Karina, just to let you know. You're on Martin's World. Welcome along. I knew that was going to happen. So yeah, that was somebody who didn't want to be talking online or live on air. Hopefully I'll get a message there explaining the importance of that call. I could be in trouble later. Fingers crossed I'm not. Other comments out there, guys. Monshore footage. All these police and guards with cancer struggling families could throw their morals away and try. Yeah, that's dead right, man. We'll see who this is here. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Hello there.
Hello there, who do we have?
It's myself.
Hi, hello, myself.
What you call a pot smoker with 2 joints?
What do you call a pot smoker with 2 joints? I don't know.
Double jointed!
Yes!
Au revoir.
Au revoir, thanks for the contribution. Love it, guys. Keep them coming, guys. Great creativity out there from yourselves. What do we call a pot smoker with 2 joints? Double jointed. You kind of saying, do you take WhatsApp calls, Martin? We'll give you a buzz one of the days. I don't have the number actually set up to WhatsApp or any of the other messaging apps at the moment, but I could get that done if people were requesting it, I suppose. Yeah, we could certainly get it set up to WhatsApp. Adam O'Brien saying, I remember when €300 got you an ounce. Wasn't all that long ago. Now it's €400. Will it be closer to €500 soon? I effing hate weed dealers, other extortionates. Not all of them are bad. Don't paint them all with the one brush, Adam, but there's some good ones out there. I definitely know some people out there who still are lucky enough to get €300 ounces, but they are few and far between, all right, these days. You know, sometimes it's kind of like, you know, they're like hen's teeth. Rather rare. But yeah, like, you know, guys, it's up to us. If we're sick and shit of paying these extortionate prices, grow your own, guys. You know, it's literally that's the way forward. Grow your own, and if you can't, you know, find a buddy who can and support them. Form your group, form your collective between yourselves. If your buddy gets caught, like, you know, sign a fucking document where all of you are in it together. It's not for profit, and you're all, you know, doing it to get yourselves out of the black market, to stop us supporting these extortionate fucking gangs that are out there. Whatever you need to do to protect yourselves, do it, guys. But don't fear getting caught. Don't be stupid either, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you don't get caught. Do your piece to not get caught, but like, don't fear getting caught. Don't let fear stop you from doing it, because even if you get caught, go in with the right defense. You know, Judge, there's 5 of us here. My buddy was growing the plants for us. He was growing 6 plants for the 5 of us. He had 12 there at the time because 6 of them were in veg, 6 of them were in flower. And there was no profit. There was no money being made here. He was covering the costs, and that was it, Judge. We weren't supporting organised crime gangs. He was paying for the electricity. What more do you want from us as citizens when the government won't get engaged with us? They won't protect us as consumers when the government want us to engage with these organised crime gangs by not engaging with us to provide us with an effective access, you know? Go in there with a proper defence. What you're doing is a protest. State it that way, you know. We were protesting. We started growing our own cannabis plants for ourselves in a protest at the government's ignorance, at the complete incompetence that exists within the Irish government around this issue. You had no choice but to commit civil disobedience. It's a protest what you were doing. Go for it, guys. There you go. Like, it's a great defence to have to go into court. A couple of you grow your own cannabis for yourselves. Even if you're just growing it for yourself, go in and just be loud and proud. I was growing it for myself, Judge. I'm not an addict. I like cannabis. I enjoy it. Brings tremendous benefit to me. And what you're doing here is victimizing me and the government are to blame for this. They've refused to engage with us. You know, I can show you, Judge, multiple letters I've sent to various ministers in the past, and I've engaged with the Simon Harris. I've engaged with fucking Martin. The Taoiseach, you know, you've engaged with all of them, like, you know, in their various ministerial roles in the past, and they've refused to do anything, so you've no choice now but to take it into your own hands. If my buddy who's growing cannabis for me gets braided, I'm going to be there in court on the day, because I've that agreement with him as well, that look, we're in this together. You're growing cannabis for me, and I'm really thankful for that. And if you ever get raided, I'm going to court with you. I'm going to take my share of the plants that are there, and you should all do it for one another, guys. We have to, like, a united movement in this. Like, it's not to be reckoned with, you know. We'll overcome them. Don't be handing out €400 for ounces, lads. If you're handing out €400 for an ounce, have a good long look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this money well spent? Like, can you continue to afford not to grow your own cannabis? Like, my US friend is going trying to call Martin. Nice one for that, Russell, legend. Wait, the cost is apparently crazy. Yeah, it probably is actually crazy. Tell him to get on to me, fucking messenger or something like that. They'd probably be able to ring through to my phone on that as well. Yeah, the tarnished Emmy Hall Martin. Has the role switched? He hasn't switched yet. He's Taoiseach still, isn't he? Other comments, Man Falls out there as well. What's happening, Man Falls? Where's the skate park, Martin? I'll be on it anyways. Yeah, look, I'll actually pop it up on screen there. Look, Mardyke Walk Skate Park. Boom, yeah, there we go. I'll pop this up on screen there now for you guys, so you can all see this. Boom, so there we go. So this is actually the map. So I'll zoom in here now on this. So if you look here, this is the skate park here, and this is the walkway. But just outside it here, this is actually a big green area. So I'll actually put this on satellite, because I thought it was green actually on the map, but it's not. Where's the satellite? There we go. So there you go, guys. This is actually it. That's the area. So nice big green area there. We'll gather down here, have our picnic in the park on the day. We'll spread out, social distance and all of that stuff. Bring your skateboard and stuff as well, guys. There's a lovely skate park here. And as I said, if we run out of room here in this area, there's a green area all in along here that we could use as well if needs be. The music, you know, as we will be playing out on this side, it might not reach inside of there, but I encourage people, bring your own music, bring your own instruments, bring your own speakers, bring your own little community of people, and come on down and consume cannabis together. Unite, guys. So yeah, that's the location there up on screen, guys. So if you put into Google Mardyke Walk Skate Park, and then just outside of it here, there you go, nice big green area on the day. We can gather down there. I should be there just before 2 o'clock on the day. We'll have some live music there. If there's anybody out there, guys, as well at the moment who wants to contribute to this, you know, if you're a person who can lead a group in yoga or something like that, if you'd like to come down here and maybe hold a yoga session, get in touch with me. Send me a message if you would like to be that person. If you'd like to do maybe, I don't know, a 20-minute yoga movement, like even 20 minutes would be a great contribution. If you wanted to do up to an hour, by fecking all means, go for it if you felt up for it. But definitely get in touch with me, guys, if you can contribute. If you're a person out there who is a performer, if you're a musician, if you've got some skills and you'd like to show them off, if you're a cannabis consumer and you'd like to show off your skills, come on down and be part of it. And you know that this bring your family as well, guys. You don't have to be leaving the kids at home if you don't want to. By all means, bring them on down. But just be aware that there will be cannabis consumed there on the day. But I'm sure you're well aware that that's going to be happening. I thought it was great to see families up there enjoying the day in the Phoenix Park on Saturday. And so why shouldn't this be any different? John Fitting and Martin, are you looking for artists to perform on the day? If so, let me know, dude. Well, John, there you go, dude. I certainly am. If you know of some people who would like to come down and contribute on the day, do definitely get in touch. We have one band already, Rasputin Boots, who are going to come down and contribute to the environment, to the protest on the day. If there's others out there, get in touch, let us know. Ian Toby, when was the date? Sorry, just tuning in. It's up there on screen. 7th of August. Just make it a bit bigger in case you can't see it. 7th of August, 2 to 6 p.m. Will there be a Feed the Birds special episode? We should get updates there on Feed the Birds actually very soon. We should get more people involved in that there as well. And a shout out there as well, guys, to Irish Hemp Harvest as well, who hooked me up with some seeds before the Phoenix Park protest, the major protest above there in Dublin. And I distributed those seeds there on the day. There were some lovely packets of seeds. They had a little card attached to it with the logo of Irish Hemp Harvest, and then on all of the packets of seeds was written "Feed the Birds" as well. So we got those distributed there on the day above in the park as well. And people love the idea as well. So I don't know, do people eat them or do they spread them around? But the message was very well received. Ken Green here saying, a decent UK plug with top quality bud. You can expect to pay an average of €250 per ounce. Pay for express delivery, normally 3 days. Order on a Friday and it will be in the post on Monday, so no stay over the weekends. And won't stink out the sorting office. Only downfall is vacuum packing, crushing the bud. Yeah, well, you know, that's a small price to pay for discreet delivery, in fairness, like the vacuum packing. But if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. You're going to be grinding it anyway afterwards. So, you know, you won't get the old Instagram photos of your bud, but at least it fucking comes in at €250 an ounce. It's happy days, but you still have the risk there. I hate ordering from I hate the thought of ordering from the UK. I would imagine you would probably get the same deal from Spain, if not even a better deal from Spain. And I reckon you would have a better delivery from Spain, better chance of delivery from Spain, possibly. Because the UK now, with the excise duty and all of this stuff, like it's going to be checked more by the customs in order to get the old taxes on some of the products coming in. Whereas we don't have that kind of barrier that's there with the UK. Oh yeah, shout out to Pip Seeds. My RPSL prize arrived this morning. Lucky you, John. Lucky you. I got knocked out in the first round of that rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock game over on the High and Homegrown podcast. So yeah, I didn't get to win any prizes, darn it. But maybe next time, I'm sure the lads are going to be running some more competitions as well very soon. Yeah, if you're not in, you can't win. Get over onto Percy's Grow Room if you want to get in those competitions. Connor S says, you inspired to get involved with the Feed the Birds campaign, by the way, Martin. As many as possible should get on board. Free seeds with orders from Irish Hemp Harvest and Little Collins at the moment. And I think Puff and Stuff as well, we're doing some free hemp seeds as well with their orders. I might check in with them to see if that's still going, or maybe if somebody out there is in the know. But Puff and Stuff is a shop here in Cork, and they were giving out some hemp seeds as well with their orders. I don't know, is it something that R420 Supplies is doing as well? Maybe, possibly. Who knows? Maybe somebody else knows out there. But it's a really good idea, and good to hear that people are getting inspired to get involved. Monsieur Fudge, yup, 140 is Z from Spain. Anyone for a safe address? Yeah, I can hook you up with a safe address down here, man, sure, but we'll have to get some commission, yeah, and delivery. Hype, Salt Bay feeds them alright at Pods for 420. And Kitmore saying, I recently bought from Puff and Stuff and they gave me a baggie full of hemp seeds with a sticker saying feed the birds all for free. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Puff and Stuff here in Cork are on top of the Feed the Birds campaign as well. Yes, guys. Again, there's serious momentum going in this community here in Ireland. Like, there's a lot of people involved. There's lots of businesses getting involved as well, which is really what we want to be seeing. Like, so well done to everybody getting involved in all the different businesses out there. From the Irish Hemp Harvest, Puff and Stuff, Little Collins, so many of them to think of there. But well done, all of you. Yeah, Connor S. inspired me. Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, you inspired me to get involved. Yeah, nice one. John Finnegan, Heavenly Kush from Pips, looking forward to it. Nice, happy days. Nice, John. Bit of CBD bud there for you. Alright, I'm going to pack up another bowl, guys, and we will start loving you and leaving you. Last shout out for calls. If anybody wants to be the last caller, get it in there now. If anybody's got any more funny jokes. Sean O'Donovan, if you're out there. Come on, I know somebody wants to be funny. You're all sick of or you're all sick of listening to me laugh at my own jokes. Pods4420 says, yeah, got them a month ago off Puff and stuff. Said they had 3 million of them. Fair enough, like considering that they're probably giving out maybe 50 to 60 in a bag. It's going to take them a while to get through them. Like, but imagine that's 3 million cannabis plants that potentially could be popping up around the island of Ireland as part of this campaign to feed the birds. We also have like Little Collins. They've probably got another 3 million, and I'm sure Irish Hemp Harvest has probably got another 3 billion. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Martin's World.
Hey, hello. You hear me okay? Yeah.
I hear you fine. Yeah, who have we got?
My name is Diego.
Diego, welcome to Martin's World. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I all good. I watch this show from Mexico, and I like to say it's very good show. It's very good. Me and my wife, Bonita, we every Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday, we watch the internet to watch Martin's World. It's very good.
Ah, gracias, amigo.
Ah, très bien, très bien. I just want to say to you, like, you ask for some joke, yeah? What you call a building full of very stupid people?
I don't know, what do you call them?
The Irish Doyle.
Thanks very much for the call. I hope the international calling rates aren't too much for you.
It's okay because, like, I tap into, like, the telecom of communication in America because I just be beside border and I get under fence, like, I don't go over fence. They know billboard.
Nice one.
Okay. Hasta luego, mi amigo.
Hasta luego.
And, as you see in the land of the Irish, sloncha.
Slonta and Céad Míle Fáilte. Legend. So all the way from Mexico. Well done. Nice one, guys. So shout out to the Mexican audience out there. Yes, gotta love the French Mexicans. Très bien. Love it, guys. I absolutely love it. Blazing up there, civil disobedience to whoever me Mexican buddy was there, compadre. Oh, so I love that, guys. I'm telling you, this phoning was probably the greatest crack I've had in the show since starting the show. In fairness, like, from Stephen Donnelly to Diego from Mexico, like, Jesus, who else is going to be on the show next? I want what that guy is smoking. Hebsy girl is saying. Me too. They got some great ganja there over in Mexico. And don't you know, sure, it's legal over there now. And Pods is saying a Mexican cartel member. Come on now. That I think that's been a bit stigmatic now. Just because you're from Mexico doesn't mean you're a Mexican cartel member. That's like saying that, oh, you're Irish, you must be in the IRA. You in the IRA, Pods? Hype saying you're all Mexican to me. Dodo's 33 from Bernie's farm, not long to go now. Nice one. Is that Dosey Dos, is it? Caron, did we get autocorrect there on that one? I think they had a Dosey Dos, but do they have a Dodos? D-O-D-O? Nice though, like good to hear that anyway. And if you happen to be around Cork and if you want to share, if you want to get some feedback there from anybody, let me know. I'm a good critic of the herb myself. Offer me consultancy services for free. I'll waive my fees. Yeah, Dosey Dos. That's what I was thinking. Dosey Dos 33 is amazing. El Cheapo coming in from Keto Halloran, saying nothing. Yes, love it, guys. Yeah, does he does. That's what I was thinking. All right, Dodo's just didn't sound right to me at all. Um, you ever smoked a Lennon, Martin? I haven't actually. I've never smoked Lennon. Wouldn't mind getting, you know, there's just so many strains out there. I can't wait until we get some sort of illegal industry here, so you can just go down and it's just like, what would I like today? Would I like something that tastes like lemons? Would I like something with an earthy flavor? Would I like something sativa? Would I like something that's going to bring me a bit of energy? Man, we've so much to look forward to in a legal cannabis market as consumers of this fine herb, really. Like, when you think of all it has to offer, really, the potential, the sky is the limit, really. Like, that this plant, we need to end this prohibition and unlock this potential for our society, because I think that our society is just going to do so much better once it's gone. Imagine like being 10 years into a new epoch, you know, we'll have a new epoch after Prohibition, you know, year zero AP after Prohibition. Imagine 10 years into that, like of after Prohibition, and we're looking back and we're, how did this ever exist? How did Prohibition ever exist? It's going to be crazy. Like, imagine today, you know, that the stigma that we put on gay people before. Like, imagine being a gay man today versus a gay man 30 years ago in a family, or a gay young boy, you know, how much more accepting families are today than what they were of it 30 years ago. Imagine that for how that's going to turn around for cannabis consumers as well. And not in terms of the from the respect from the parents, but just in terms of the importance of the respect that those people get now in society, you know, and the thoughts of doing it again. Like, imagine being parents that disowned your son or your daughter because they came home with the same sex partner. Imagine how you would be like fucking a pariah in your own community. You know what I mean? You'd be an outcast. People would be shaming you. Just kind of like, how could you do that to your own flesh and blood? Like, you know, because it's such a non-issue. Like, people, you know, whereas 20, 30 years ago, like, that was the thing. Like, you know, it was like, geez, you have a gay or something. Or, geez, you just send them off there. Like, send them off to the convent there or something. And they pray the gay away. I just saying it, like, we've so much to look forward to once we end this prohibition and see legalization happen here. Irish Hemp Harvest say many people see legalization as the end goal, but really it will just be the beginning. That's it. It will only be the beginning. It's just unlocking the door to the potential of all there is to be offered from this plant, and tremendous beginnings it will be as well. And again, it has to be built from the bottom up. That's the most important thing to get across here as well. In these movements, in this campaign of civil disobedience stuff, it's uniting a community, but uniting them so that we can be represented in the policy making that will happen going forward, because you don't want it to be top down, you want it to be bottom up. Because if it's from the top down, it's not going to be representative of what we want as consumers. It'll be built to the guys in the suits, the guys who want to make money, and the guys who want to control this. So that's even why it's even more important that we unite around these different campaigns and movements for protesting for the cannabis reform in Ireland. Caleb is asking here, do you reckon that Biden will veto the bill in the Senate? I don't know. You see, Caleb, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. A lot will be revealed in the coming days, really, around this, because, you know, while Biden recently kind of expressed some support in his own way, you know, while he didn't outright express support for Shah Richardson and the Olympics banning, he certainly did express some level of support that would never have been seen in the past for cannabis from presidents, in that he said that, you know, that the rules are the rules, But should the rules be the rules is kind of, it's not what he said. I'm paraphrasing there because I can't remember exactly what Biden said when asked on that. But you know, he was kind of expressing that like, should this be a rule? So you know, will Biden follow through now on his kind of support there at that time to kind of saying that this doesn't make sense? Should the rules be the rules? Come on, Biden, repeat that question to yourself when it comes to this bill that's now going to be before I don't know, does it have to go before the House and then the Senate? I'm not too sure where it goes, but it has a bit to go yet before it'll be put into effect. But should it be put into effect, then it will see to regulate cannabis like tobacco, which I would kind of agree with. Yeah, make it for adults to consume, put a tax on it, tax it like a recreational consumption drug, whatever, tobacco. And happy fucking days, like, you know, I don't think many people out there, look, you can walk into the shop and buy tobacco, like, imagine walking into the shop and being able to buy a weed. I'm sure you'd be fucking thrilled. So I don't know, will Biden veto the bill in the Senate? All will be told in the coming days. Let's hope that it does get support. Let's hope it does make its progress throughout the process there. And hopefully the federal prohibition of cannabis will be brought to an end once and for all for America, which will do great things. Like, big issues over in America around the cannabis industry at the moment is that they can't even bank. A lot of the businesses have issues where they have piles of cash because banks won't take their money because they're dealing with a federally illegal product, and should the federal prohibition end, well, the banks now actually, well, come on in, let's do business like we do with every other bloody business, and we won't discriminate you against you anymore. So there's a lot of benefits to be brought by the ending of the prohibition on a federal level. And also within the bill, I think there's like some provisions there for people to be like left out of prison for these charges as well. So that's probably a very important part as well that I'll try to focus in on more as well to see what's happening in that. And Caleb's adding in there, their debt and inflation will surely push it across the line. Well, looking at how some of the states are making money, how much money is being made there from it, there'll be issues that happen on that, because if there's a federal legalization of cannabis and if there's now a federal tax on cannabis, now the states, like, will the states have to relinquish some of the money that they've been making already from the cannabis markets? I'd imagine a lot of them will want to hang on to the same taxes there. So the Americans could see the price of the product go up, but maybe federal decriminalization will actually bring it down then, as more producers get on board and the costs go down. But yeah, certainly the debt and the inflation over there will certainly help with the arguments, because there is a lot of money to be made right across America. Like, you look at Texas, like they envision that after 4 years, that there's going to be like 454 million be made in the state, and Texas state as well, guys, has a population of 2.1 million people. So it's actually got a smaller population than Ireland, and they can bring in that amount of money from it. Like, the population of Texas is less than Ireland. It's half of that of Ireland, and they're able to bring in that. Imagine what we could do here in Ireland with the legalization of cannabis. Yeah, Jim Belushi doing my dream job. Jim Belushi, the cannabis farmer. I've sent him a couple of messages, actually. I have to find any email address to him or something to see if he'll come and have a chat here on the podcast with me, because I've been following his Twitter page, and yeah, he's certainly an interesting character, all right, and yeah, we might make a good podcast guest. King Green saying, could be wrong, but did the now Vice President Harris show support for federal legalization? She did. So again, all will be revealed in the coming days. Will these people follow through on the support they've been shown, or will they flip-flop and maybe Biden vetoes it or whatever, you know? So let's see what happens. DB Woodcraft, legalize it and make Bitcoin our currency. I know a few buddies who'd agree with you there as well on that. Shout out to Casas the Drogas. John Finnegan, Jim Belushi, I'm on it. Go on, Jim. Or John. John there is like the booking manager for Martin's World, doing the fucking the show, an incredible service. Communicating with people like the Outlaw there in Manchester as well to try to get him on the show. So, John, thanks very much, man. Honestly, you're a fucking legend. Look forward to meeting you again, hopefully on the 7th of August. We'll have to make sure I have a slice of cake. I did give you a slice of cake on above there on Saturday, didn't I, John? Any news in Germany? No news in Germany yet. I haven't followed up on anything there in Germany, so I've not in a hand. And sorry there, guys, if there's a load of buzzing in the background as well. One of the neighbours decided they want to trim their garden. Check out Growing Exposed on YouTube. It's a huge cannabis grow scales grow show at scales done in the States. Your cookies are amazing, Martin. Really enjoy. Yes. Oh, you only got to try the cookies, John. Shit, I had brownies with me as well. I should have got you a brownie as well. Sorry about that, man. My brownie is actually my signature. Like I've really fucking perfected my brownies over the years. Love them like nice and moist. That's that's what you want in a brownie. Has to be moist. It can't be a cake. If it's crumbly and if it's dry and if it's like soft and spongy, that's bad brownie. Sorry. You want it moist. You want it to make your mouth water, not dry. So yes, brownies next time for you, John. We'll just make a bigger batch of brownies because the cookies, while they were good, fucking they ain't got shit in those brownies, man. Sorry, but my brownies are on point, on fleek. Brownie video, Martin, please. I actually have footage, and much like I have footage as well of Irish Hemp Harvest. Irish Hemp Harvest sent me down a great package, and I showed you some of the products there that he sent down to me. And I recorded the unboxing of it, and I have to get that up online. I just have to stick the voiceover onto it. I have a couple of things there that I need to get done in the background. I've got footage of making brownies. I've got footage of making the butter and stuff like that as well. So I've got a couple of things there on the on the back burner. I have to just get off it and get it done. But honestly, the college work as well, I've got a pile of college work there now, and I've just got a 10,000 word assignment to begin. Got 6 weeks to do it from today. So I have to get cracking on that. It's a literature review as well, which is just a pain in the behind. So a 10,000 word literature review and kind of something to do with bioanalytical chemistry anyway. So that's going to suck up a bit of my time as well. But I'll do my best, guys, to keep the content coming. I'll be making my I'll honor my commitments to the 420 news as much as possible as well. Sorry about Friday. Look, family couldn't do anything about it. It's a big family gathering going out to this thing, so somebody else picked the time. I would have asked them to pick a different time if possible. I could still do a live from out there. Maybe we'll have a smoke and a chat with you or something maybe on Friday, even though the signal is crap out in Coachurch. Oh, John got the brownies as well. Yeah, I got your brownies off someone else. Were great also. What you think, Monsieur Fudge? And Monsieur moist. Everyone laughs at the words moist, don't they? If it crumbles like cake, it ain't no brownie. Statement right there. As I say, guys, I'm a good critic. If anybody out there needs a good critic for their herb or their brownies, get in touch with me. More than happy to offer my services for free. Martin Condon's cannabis and brownie consultancy company. Not for profit. Yeah, certainly, Bhagwan son. Family is always more important, but you guys too are family, guys. So and that's how I see you out there in the community to show like everybody out there receiving this message. Like you know, if you're living in Ireland, I see you as a person who you have to live in the streets with your family, like, and we all have to exist here together. So, you know. But but certainly more connected to you guys here. Great old community, and Irish Hemp Harvest there as well, showing the support for the family as well. Helping to keep the lights on. Legend Irish Hemp Harvest as well, and to everybody else who supported the show here today, guys, whether you've liked it, shared or commented, or interacted as well, supporting it there with some donations. Absolute legends, each and every one of you. Serenable saying, is it okay, Martin, if I give you a call after the show, mate? Not a bother at all, Serenable. Yeah, not a bother at all. We'll be going offline there in a couple of minutes, and we'll be bringing the old doggies for a walk. So yeah, definitely give me a call there. Bhagwan's son, is there an unpussed Dropbox? I don't think so. Don't think there is. There's just the parcel motels, isn't it? Hebsy girl, hope you and the family have a great day out. Thanks very much, Hebsy. And Irish Hemp Harvest actually there was sending in a little emoji on that. It was an opened cardboard box with the word unboxing. I'll get it off there. I'll certainly get that done before Friday. Hemp Harvest, not a bother at all. Thanks again, much appreciated. Lovely stuff. So guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you because I gotta get the dog strapped up and walked before it gets too late. An hour 45 into this, 45 minutes of interacting with you great people out there, and I enjoyed every second of it, especially you, Diego. Diego, you made my day today. Thanks very much, pal. John saying, I think I know that Diego dude. He's from Award Puppets. Yeah, Diego was a legend there anyway. He made my day, certainly did. Bagwan's son says, so we can throw you on our food to review, like you got an address to send it to a P.O. box. Yeah, we'll get a Martin's World P.O. box up and running, so will we send all your Eden brownies to it. We'll be getting the cops with the handcuffs as soon as I arrive to the post box to collect it. Long live Diego. Awkward puppets, you mean? And Skitanis are saying, and the UK isn't Northern Ireland, which is good sometimes. Oh yeah, that's true. Northern Ireland, you get the 250 deals from up there as well. That's good to know. Maybe we could probably just fucking make the trip up there in person to collect a few of them. Right, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. As I say, apologies, guys, I won't be back on Friday for more 420 news, but I will be back Monday, guys. So Monday at the all-important time of 420, the same place, same channels, and yeah, you'll see this lovely face bringing you all of the news from around the world on cannabis. So until then, guys, stay blazed, have a lovely weekend, and stay safe out there. Hopefully I'm not reporting on your news here in the coming weeks. Love and peace, guys.